Well, here we are, better late than never. What are we, 3 minutes late to our own party? Good afternoon, YouTube. If it is afternoon where you are, it is here in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's where we're coming to you from today. Back from Las Vegas, where, hey, we had a heck of a trip, a heck of a week. Married man now, so yay for that. In addition to that, on my trip on Vegas, got to check out lots of magic. We're going to talk about some of that today. And, well, let's get started with just that. So I went to Vegas. Let's see, I'll give you all the scoop here on what I brought this book with me. This is a Ben Heron book, Machinations. We'll talk about that in a minute. We went to the Gambler's General Store, got some dice, we got some cards, we got some card at the card table. Mini Bible form. We'll talk about that. Lastly, we got to see Alan Ackerman and Jason England. We spent some time with them on last Wednesday, jamming out at Tommy Rocker's at the Magic meeting, and boy, that was a good time too. Hey y'all, I see you arriving in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with me. I see the good words. Thanks a lot. And hey Seb, your timing is impeccable. There's your shout out. I'm going to start with a little magic that is not on my agenda to cover today, but it's something that I filmed yesterday. A good friend of mine, Nate Kranzo, sent me a new trick, and I'm sharing the love here with this is stamp. This is an item that Nate's distributing. If you're not familiar with Nathan Kranzo, maybe you should be. He's one of Magic's most prolific creators for the last 2 decades, and currently is developing his online emporium, which offers a lot of wonderful things. After the stream, maybe I could put up a link. It's one of the reasons I was a couple minutes late here, is trying to get my P's and Q's lined up. There's never enough time in the day, and my problem's not yours. I'll cross those T's and dot the I's after the stream. Let's watch this trick from Nate Kranzo. It's actually a Joe, what's his name? Joe Deng is his name, Joe Deng. So it's a pretty valuable tool. You'll need a ball bearing, which, if you're familiar with these, they cost about 8 cents a piece. Now that is important when you realize this doohickey has catch the rubber imprints. I'll get them on the front camera after the trick. There's imprints of a quarter in here, which means when you put the ball bearing inside, this thing works like a Japanese ice maker. It works by pressure and heat, little friction, and then you add the magic, and you can actually stamp, perfect imprint, the US quarter. Those cost about 25 cents, so if you're doing the math here, that is a 17-cent profit. That is Joe Deng's stamped. Which, hey, if you're into gimmick props or nice machined brass items, I know a lot of Magic collectors are. This is a good one. Let me see if I can give you guys a better look. This camera is much better. Sometimes it's better. If I get it in front of my face, it'll. All right, I'm glad I spent that money on that expensive camera. It's not picking it up at all. Anyway, there's imprints on the bottom and the top of this thing. There we are. At the end of this, of course, we get a little hiccup. At the end of this trick, everything's examinable, so your audience is welcome to check out all the props. You can give the quarter away, and that is Joe Deng's stamp, as lovingly distributed by Nathan Kranzo. Thank you, Nathan, for sharing that piece of fun. Let's see what the chat's talking out. Happy birthday to your friend. Sure, I'll say happy birthday to your friend. I just did it, but you didn't tell me your friend's name. And yeah, I'm shout out friendly when I have the time, and today we do. Sam. Happy birthday, Sam. Newton County greetings and hello. All right, so let's talk about what we did in Vegas besides get married. And hey, if you didn't see that clip, I posted that when I got back. I don't even know when. It's been a whirlwind, but I got a footage with some of the things we did getting married, some of our trips around Vegas. If you want to see a little more detail of what we did there, check out that video. Probably the highlight magic-wise was going to visit, hello Willie, going to visit the Gambler's General Store. Gambler's General Store in downtown Las Vegas. I can easily recommend to any Magic enthusiast. They have thousands, literally thousands of decks of cards. I picked up these. This is a, what is this deck? This is the Queen Bee deck. This is an illusionist deck, and I have access to a lot of Magic wholesale and a lot of decks, but I don't have access to the illusionist brand, and thought I'd give them a try, and I'm pretty happy with these. This is an all-around back pattern, and again, not the best camera for this. Probably this one's a little better. They have bees on the back and a nice off-color gold bee that when you're doing things like fans and such will accentuate these, but I bought them because of the all-around back pattern. I'm starting to work on my false deals again, the bottom deals, the second deals, and that was on my mind when I bought this deck. You'll see some of that material in the coming weeks. I'll be making some shorts with some false deals, and as well the membership area, which if you're not familiar with the membership area, we started that weeks ago right before I left for Vegas. The membership section offers a few perks. The $1 level will give you some badges and emojis that will signify that you are a Conn fam. In addition to that, starting next week, I'm going to be giving you guys early access to videos, so everybody that's a member will get that. If you're a member at the $5 level or higher, you're going to get special tutorials, and one of them I released yesterday. What did I do yesterday? Rubber band magic. We did rubber band magic both on the regular site. You get some free tutorials there for everybody, but the membership site covers a trick I call Rubber Revelation, production of 4 of a kind from a deck with a rubber band. It's a pretty visual item. It's demoed on my last video and available for the members if you are one there now. And above and beyond that, we offer the Conjurer Plus, which gets you an exclusive live. We're going to do this via Zoom, and I'm probably going to set that up maybe the very last day of this month. Stay tuned for next week, and I'll have all the details on when we're going to do our live session for the Conjurers Plus. I'm married. Yes, chat. I am married now. Can you believe that? I actually talked someone into marrying me. So what do we get? We got some dice. I'm waiting on a dice cup. I'm also going to start dice stacking, which is a fun thing that I used to do years ago. Looking forward to putting that back in my repertoire. And also I got this. This is a cool, I've wanted one of these for the longest time. This is the pocket-sized version of Expert at the Card Table. This is literally the Bible of card magic. It was written in the early 1900s. I mainly bought this edition as a prop, so I'll be using this with another card trick. But a very interesting section in the back has Professor Hoffman's critical comments. So I'm looking forward to reading these. Unfortunately, the text is so small, I'll need a microscope to do that. But Professor Hoffman, he wrote Modern Magic, Later Magic, some of the classic magic texts. And look at Willie Sawyer joining the Conjure Plus right on the spot. Hey, Willie. I say, first of all, I appreciate you and your enthusiasm in the comments and such, but hey, welcome to the Conjurer Plus level. We'll see you next week for a live jam. All right, what else here? What else is happening in my magic world? The last thing I got, thank you for the congrats. I got married on June 8th. That was our wedding day. Boy, I had the greatest time on Wednesday night, and we got to hang out with Alan Ackerman and Jason England. I'll tell you about Alan Ackerman. This guy is a card trick machine. I don't know that some of our younger students know who Alan is. You probably will in the near future. He's releasing a large tome with vanishing ink, compiling all his prolific lecture notes into a nice hardbound volume. That's going to be something that a lot of people are looking forward to. But I was happy to pick up his latest notes. These were produced in 2019, which, as you might imagine, was right before the pandemic. So they haven't got a wide distribution. The main thing I'm working on here, I can give you a little scoop, is the Bottom Deal Exchange. Bottom Deal Exchange, which is a Marlowe move. And if I got nothing other than that out of these notes, that would be enough. You can find the Bottom Deal Exchange in Marlowe's Mint or New Tops, Marlowe and New Tops, as well as this Alan Ackerman. Alan has a website. I'm sure he sells these here. Don't have Alan Ackerman's latest set of lecture notes and you're a card man, well, maybe you want to correct that mistake. Words from the chat. Do I have kids? Yeah, I have three beautiful daughters who are grown adults now. Well, mostly. One of them is 18, just turned 19 actually. And in addition to that, I have three lovely grandchildren. I actually had the pleasure of performing for my daughter, and her children last week at summer camp. I posted a uh, little short of me doing the sponge bunnies with them. If you haven't seen that, you can go check that out. How long have I done magic, chat? About 40 years. About 40 years. I wanted to talk about this book a little bit. This is the book I brought with me. I brought a couple things with me, but I brought this book hoping to enlighten my brain on some information that I just wasn't familiar with. And I did exactly that. This is Ben Harris's study of Robert Neal's. It's a trapdoor card. Here's one of them. This is one I found interesting. This is a trapdoor card. It's a piece of paper, and it has a window cut in it. Now, this was originally done with, you could use playing cards. There's versions with dollar bills. There's been a couple of publications and advancements on the trapdoor card. Again, this is just a solid piece of paper with 3/4 cut out to make a door. So what Ben Harris did was take this concept and devote some of his creative energies to developing different presentations with this trapdoor concept. Something I'd never studied before, and I figured, heck, let's enlighten our brain, and we did just that. I haven't gone through all of these items, and note that one of the benefits of this book is he includes some nice templates that work with the trapdoor card, taking the effect in some novel directions, some better, some not. This is just one man's opinion, but I'm going to show you one of the things that I think has potential, and that is this card, which is the upside card. It's upside on the front, and it's upside on the back. I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, a little bit of lag. We've had a couple hiccups. If you're a little laggy, you're not out, but it's just a little blip, so that should be fine. Moving right along. Upside on this side, upside on this side. Now, the trapdoor in the card is intended to be held by a spectator. So imagine if you were here reaching out and you grabbed hold of that trapdoor that was coming off the piece of paper. So you're holding that while the card is right side up or upside. Now, while you hold it, I'm going to make a couple of folds, add a little bit of magic right before your very eyes. While that card is being held, that card turns upside down. Not just on the front, but it is also upside down on the back. That is the Robert Neal trapdoor card as enhanced by Ben Harris, or just one of the versions. Again, your spectator would hold this trapdoor, that piece right in the middle. While they're holding it, you make a couple nefarious folds. Is that even the right word? Nefarious? I don't think so. Doug, like this. Make a couple folds, and while they hold the card, it turns from right side up to upside down, or vice versa. And again, this is just one of the advancements that Ben has made in the plot, and I look forward to studying some more of them and hopefully share some advancements. Share more of those with you in the near future. So that is Ben Harris's Machinations, available from Vanishing Ink or your favorite magic dealer. Yeehaw! Yeah, I've been a busy boy trying to absorb that information. The Ackerman book, still lots to learn in there. I'm not done with that Harris book. And as mentioned, I'm hard at work on my false deals. As they say, use it or lose it. Yeah, I used to be a competent dealer, a pretty good second dealer. I never was good at dealing bottoms, but I have practiced and I will continue practicing. That's what is on my list. All right, let's go to the chat here, answer a couple of questions with an intent here, maybe a 20 or 30 minute session. Where are we, about 15, 20 minutes in? When did I start magic? I get that question a lot. I started back in the 70s watching Doug Henning when I was a kid. Doug Henning and David Copperfield. Harry Anderson was a big influence on me. Be happy to field any questions if you guys want to spit something into the Q&A. We're going to happily do that. And as I see these blips, I'm saddened that my efforts to correct this internet problems before I left for Vegas is incorrect. We might be switching internet service providers at this point. Just what I want to do, go back to cable. Where was my first magic trick? That's a good question. I learned the magic. My first trick was taught by a third grade teacher, 9 years old. Only a couple kids got to learn the tricks. My teacher did some magic. She taught us some things. We did a little magic show for the class, and that kind of hooked me. From there, I started going to libraries. Great resource to learn, the public library, which I still recommend. And eventually I found a magic shop, and that's where you learn the real secrets. Have I ever performed in front of a live audience? Well, of course. It is my job. I've done it for 40 years now. I've been a professional performer for over 30 years. Struggle on double lifts. Do you have a tip? Well, now, the double lift, while often perceived as a move that should be easy, is one of the more challenging moves maybe that a beginner might learn. It seems like a simple thing, right? You just get 2 cards and then you just got to turn them over. And I think maybe some people discount that at ease, or the concept, for being simpler than it is. Okay, laggy and not high definition. Well, it's probably my internet. We've proven that to be true over the last few streams, and my efforts to fix it with AT have just been like butting my head against the wall. So looks like we'll change the Cox cable. Yay. All right, so here's what I suggest. If you want to make your double lift better, what you have to figure out is what you're going to do before it and what you're going to do after it. And then you can decide moments that you can do to make the move a little more conducive, a little more attainable. So, for example, maybe just let's first talk about getting the break. Maybe we're going to talk about getting the break, which is obtaining the little finger separation between the 2 cards. I advocate a pinky count here. This is counting cards with your little finger, 1 at a time, off the bottom of the deck. I have done a tutorial on this. It's not an easy move, but it certainly makes your get-readies look better for the double lift. So this will be done from this view, and all I do is 1, 2, and I've got a double lift ready to go. Now, I like to use the Vernon technique, which simulates a push-off of the top card. This is the thumb and the 3rd finger coming together and opening, and moving that double to the right as you do so, pinching them at the right side. As you turn the cards over, I out-jog the card slightly, out-jog it. That way when the finger pushes down, you can reclaim your break on the inner side. And here what I should do is maybe switch to a deck that's not white. This might help us see a little better. Pinky count to obtain the break is preferred. If not the pinky count, make sure you have some misdirection, like maybe a question. Hey, what's your name? And while you ask the question, that's when you get your break under the 2 cards, maybe just by shoving the 2 and pulling them back. Or maybe you have some other clever way to get that break. One thing I don't want to see anyone do is pulling up from the inside. If you're lifting up to get a break under those 2 cards, your audience is going to see it. That's going to be one of the, as they say, a tell for your double lift. So never pull up. But I know I rambled on some technique there, but look, even this works fine. If you, as I said, you need to know what comes before and after it. In some cases, I will do just this. After I've got my break, just grab them from the top, show the double, put it back down. Now, that's no heat, no moves, no extra finger flinging beyond getting your initial break beneath the 2. But if you're going to do a simple action like this and that, you're going to need to know what comes before and after it in order for the audience to have proper motivation, or to feel the motivations proper. So, hey, what's your name, Doug? Oh, your name's Doug. Hey, Doug, can you remember this card for me? Just etch it in your brain. I mean, you don't have to, but if you could, that'd be helpful. Hold out your hand. And so that would be the kind of a vibe that you might get if you're doing a simple double lift technique. Egad, that's a lot of blabbering about double lifts. Yeah, Monarchs are these. I like these cards. They're probably my second favorite deck. My go-to deck are bicycles. When I'm performing, I use bicycle, red, or blue. But I do like the Monarch as kind of a higher end deck. All right, Michael P. And this is, look at these advantages of being a member. Your emoji sticks out and I get to see your questions right away and answer them. So Michael P. says, love the tutorials on the membership section. How's the response been so far? I got about 24 members so far, and that's with very little effort to promote it. So I would say fair at best, but we're going to be moving full steam ahead as the summer goes on. I look for those numbers to pick up. Goldbug, hi, how you doing, Goldbug? When Goldbug comments, the membership section is amazing. Thank you for all the tutorials. And note this, it's only, we're warming up here. By the end of the summer, there should be about 15, at least 15 different tutorials or membership videos. And moving on, that section is just going to grow. So if you're a member, you're getting some value now, and it will accrue as time goes on. Yeah. And as always, if you have any questions about the material, not just in the membership section, but in general, know that my goal here is to make better Magic, not just for you, but for me. This is a growing experience for all of us. So if I can help you, let me know, and I'll do it if I can. Hello and good evening. It's afternoon for me, but good evening to you, and good morning to others. Hi, how you doing? Here's a great question. Have you always been this wholesome, or is it obtained over time? Yeah, I don't know. I've always been wholesome, but certainly in my later years, I acquired some knowledge and wisdom that lets me be at peace and share that vibe with others. Why be anything but happy and nice? I don't know. Why would you make your brain miserable if it doesn't have to be? Yeah, it's noon. What is it? Today in New Orleans, it's 12:30 Central Time. All right, there's a question. I missed it the first time. It's back. What's your opinion on Magic by kids on Instagram and TikTok these days? Is it a disservice to Magic as an art form? So this, you are talking to a magician on TikTok. I obviously don't think it's a disservice to the art form, unless this, if you're exposing Magic just for exposure's sake. There's a handful of guys that are just doing Magic to expose it and get views. That's ridiculous. That's a fun hater. Blipping again. That's a fun hater's world, and we got no call for that. If you don't practice your Magic and you just put it out there and are exposing Magic because you haven't practiced hard enough, shame on you, practice harder. And then there's guys that are just exploring this new form, this new venue, this new medium where, you know, as technology evolves and humans do things different ways, magicians have always had to adapt. You know, they had to adapt from when we were Merlin and Conats and people thought we were doing real magic to the time of Robert Houdin when he ushered in the formal wear, which was tuxedos at the time. Now it's suit coats, so that's a, you know. And now, over the last 2 decades, here we are evolving onto the internet, which now, as we speak, short form video has become quite popular. So not the way to high art, not the best way to do Magic, but is it viable? Yeah. Is it degrading? Not if you're not exposing Magic and if you're trying really hard. Isaac says, I miss your live streams, never work out what time it'll be here. Note, I do post the times in, yep, we're blipping again. Internet bugaboos. I do post the times in the community post forums. Maybe I can get a schedule together, although every time I say that, it never happens, so maybe I can't. But I am going to mix up the times over the summer. Like I have been doing these on Thursday at 5. Today, this one's at Friday at noon for me. I've got some feedback that weekends would be good, so next week we're going to do one on the weekends. And if you guys will drop me some comments, I'll kind of fit your time slot in as best as I can. Rhonda asked, who is my favorite YouTuber? Wow, that's, you know, I don't even know that I have a favorite YouTuber. I have picked up a couple of guys the last 2 weeks that have just really enchanted my brain, and those guys by name are Jeremy Griffith kind of new to YouTube, but has been doing social media magic for a while. Really big on Instagram. His presentations are impeccable. His information is valuable, and he has guest magicians on there. Jeremy Griffith, well worth your attention. And hey, I just found Daniel Roy. Is it Daniel Roy? I think I just started following him yesterday. Wow, what a talent this guy is! Wonderful card man as well. What do I want to teach on Wednesday? Rhonda asks. I don't know. Rhonda, what do you want me to teach? What would you be interested in? I've considered going over my ball and vase developments that I created a couple of weeks ago. But, you know, as is most of my days, I wake up and I go, what are we going to do today, boss? Because I'm not very good at organizing. I just play this by ear. Daniel Roy, yes, he is Goldbug, very good. I mean, both him and Jeremy, there's probably more I don't know of. I haven't been super active following YouTubers lately because I didn't want to cloud my brain with what I'm doing. Chris Ramsey, certainly Chris Ramsey. Do you have any hobbies that aren't magic related? I do. The biggest one would probably be poker. I really enjoy playing poker. I've done it semi-professionally during parts of my life, and advocation that has been at points as strong as magic. Note that I also consider magic my hobby. I have things of magic that I do that aren't applicable to my real world magic that I consider a hobby, like, you know, maybe some of the cardistry work or some of the mentalism or memory work that I do that I don't really use in performance, but kind of consider it a hobby. Teach a street magic card trick. Okay. I'll put that in my brain and we'll make a little note. Do I cheat while playing poker? I don't. I could, but I don't. Why would I ruin a thing that I love so much? And if you're a decent poker player, well, then you don't have to cheat. Street card trick. Look, man, I'm making a note. I'll try and accommodate your request. That is done. Why is your channel growing so fast? That's a great question. I sum it up with one answer: shorts. YouTube Shorts. Very popular platform that YouTube is embracing. And yeah, I also do this. I do it with love. I care about what I do. I care about my viewers. Express your soul. Yeah, I think this. Do what you love and things will happen. So that's, I think, the answer. I don't have ulterior motives. I love the process. I love my art, and I thank you all for being part of it. All right, guys, we're a half hour into this, and now my internet hiccups are worse than they were at the beginning. So guess what I'm going to do right after I get off this stream? I'm going to give AT&T one more call. If I can get a tech out here in the next couple days, I'll stay with them. If I can't, I'm going to switch internet service providers today. Yeah, Isaac, I hear you. You'd like more tutorials. I'd like to do one every day, but between running TikTok and YouTube, I'm a family man now. I'm also a professional magician, so I'm doing gigs. I try to be creative, and I just like to practice. So my plate is so full right now. I also run a website, conjure.com. We do sell things today. I just simply don't have the time to produce more content than I am. Maybe eventually I'll get one of these teams that everyone talks about. I'll have an editor and a script writer and a sound guy and a lighting guy and an internet guy, and I won't be a one-man show. But, yeah, I'm a busy magician. So, hey, we're going to... I'm creating internet hiccups that aren't there. We're going to wrap it up, folks. If you have any other questions, drop me a line in the comments. I'm here for you always on those. And stay tuned next week for a weekend stream, hopefully one that has new internet. I hearted your comment. You know, I try to read all the comments. I respond when I can. I certainly let you know that I'm reading them. It is me doing it. I look at everyone that I can. I thank everyone that spends your time giving that algorithm a little bit of extra love. Helps the YouTube juice work just well. All right. Let me quit looking at the chat and answering questions and do what I said I was going to do a minute ago and say thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. And hey, I'll see you next week on the YouTubes. Stick around. Keep your eyes. I'll be back. Ciao for now. Bye.